Good deal, good deal. So Loren Bibler with us from the Whirlies, a senior football player. Loren, how big is this big Page game tomorrow night for you?
It's very big. Since we've gotten here, we haven't beat Page, and it'd be really good to go out on a high note against them.
And you get ready for a game like this, trying to get focused on Page. What have you done to be ready and get focused this week?
We spent a lot of time in film analyzing their defense and also sitting in analyzing their offense to make sure we're...
How much do you weigh now? I know I had your weight numbers on another page. How much do you weigh?
250 pounds, sir.
250. Ready to go at 250. How tall?
5'11".
Solid. How about the defense from Page? What do you see from those guys?
I mean, they're a good group of players. If we just get into them and we drive them, then we'll be good all night.
Tell you what, it's going to be a big game. Again, what will your role be in the game? Your role is about as big as anybody's, because you got to snap the ball. Talk about the importance of being a center in charge of all those snaps.
Yes, sir. I really get the offense lined up after we get a play. Like, our whole thing is tempo. The faster we go, the more efficient we are.
In the bye, you talk about that tempo. That's pretty crucial, too, because you're the man that snaps the ball, sets the entire tone for the entire team.
Yes, sir.
After a play, kind of take me through the stages a little bit here. After the play is dead and after the tackle's been made by the defense, do you run right back to the ball to get things set?
Yes, sir. I locate the referee. I mean, clearly, if it's outside the hashes, we're on the hash. We line up right by the referee. I'm yelling, we're on the hash, and get the offense lined up, and we're good to go.
How many snaps have you missed this season?
How many, sir?
How many snaps have you missed this year?
Against Ragsdale, I had quite a few low snaps, but then we switched it up, how I hold the ball before I snap.
Is most of all this coming out of the shotgun offense, so to speak?
Yes, sir. We're exclusively out of the shotgun.
So you got to make sure that ball gets back to that quarterback with proper technique and almost perfection.
Yes, sir.
Now, talking about snaps missed, I mean, you talked about it in that regard. How about total number of snaps missed? How many plays have you missed this year?
A couple. During the Northwest game, I injured a muscle in my back, so I was out, I think, the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Now, who comes in for you when you go down?
Fuqua.
So Fuqua's the backup, man. He's also the right guard and also the backup center. So that's pretty consistent, though, as far as going this season. Missing maybe a few plays the entire year.
No, yes, sir.
How about the extra points, field goals, the punts? You handle all that, too?
Yes, sir. I long snap for PATs and punts.
A lot of responsibility. You ever go home before the games tonight? Do you think about this overnight, or you pretty much block it all out, you're good to go?
I'm good all the time.
How long have you been doing it? You're a senior also. How long have you been doing this now?
Playing football or snapping?
Snapping.
Sophomore year.
Started every year?
No, my sophomore year, actually, no, I lied. Junior year is when I started at center. Yes,
gotcha. So you pretty much started most of your junior and senior year then?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So again, with us tonight, it's Loren Bibler from the Grimsley Whirlies, a senior center. You said weigh about 250 pounds. Do you plan on maybe extending your career, going on to college one day and doing this?
I'd surely like to. Yes, sir.
Have you made any contacts with the schools? Or?
Yeah, I've talked to Gardner Webb and Furman a little bit.
Not bad.
I'm planning. I just sent my application to state to go there, but if I could walk on and snap, I could. Since I'm fairly decent at that, I'd love to play at a Division I school.
Have you been had a chance to maybe take any of those Saturday afternoon games, like go down to a Furman game, anything like that?
Oh, yes, sir. I went down to a couple Furman games last year, and I'm planning on going down to one against. I think they're playing Catawba this year. I'm planning on going down and watching them do that.
So there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of chances. What do you got to do now to beat this team, Page, tomorrow night? What do you think is the most important thing going into the game as far as getting the win goes?
Like we've said all night, me and Ben, tempo. Tempo is key. If we can keep our tempo up, then we'll just run them out of the game.
How did that NASCAR offense come about? Who kind of came up with that concept?
Coach Rez coming in on the year, the new offensive coordinator. We've had to do a lot of running to get into shape for that. After we had made the coach switch with Coach Pat, it's probably all we did for the first 2 weeks of practice was just run.
Coach Rez taking through most of those running routines and all those different drills?
No, that'd be Coach Mack. He's our conditioning
gotcha.
guy.
Yeah, Coach Mack, because he's a defensive coach as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, good stuff. Again, Loren Bibler with us, Grimsley Whirlies, big game with Page tomorrow night. A lot of things going on. Get ready for that game. And who do you think the best teacher is at Grimsley? We asked that question earlier. Who do you think the best teacher teacher over there is?
The best teacher would be, I have to say, Mr. Gowdy.
What is he?
Teaches IB Math SL. Pretty high level math.
Do you take that class?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, what other classes do you have? I mean, maybe some other. Every week we get the kids in there. They come up with some classes like we've never heard of. What are some other classes for you?
Marine biology, sociology, honors discrete math, honors earth science.
A lot of math classes then.
Yes, sir.
Heavy in the math. You think about Page. Who do you see being the toughest player on Page? Do you know anybody in that defensive side of the ball you got to worry about?
Lorenzo.
Featherston?
Yes, sir.
Now, you being the center and he being over here, do you guys think you guys have some contact between you and him maybe in the game? Could that happen?
I don't think so, unless it's a broken play.
Now, you being the center here, now over on the defensive side here, they got a guy that lines up directly on top of you or in front of you?
Yes, sir. They play a 3-4 defense, a 0, which is directly above me, and then 2 4s, which are directly above the tackles.
Who comes up with all the schemes for your blocking? Who comes up with all that?
Coach Blemon.
Coach who now?
Blem.
You got a lot of coaches. You got Coach coming in. You mentioned Coach Mack. You mentioned Coach Ress. You mentioned Coach Neal and Coach Blem. Got a ton of coaches over there.
Oh, yes, sir.
And that's your position, Coach. Now, the schemes you guys use, how do you, this group over here, what makes this group, we're talking about the offensive line, I'm going to ask probably every player, hopefully ask them this, what makes this group so special?
What makes it special is that we're very large in size and also but we're very smart. Some of the players on offensive line have the highest GPAs on the team.
Good stuff. You guys thinking well and doing well in the classroom then?
Yes, sir.
So that classroom carries over to the football field, which is a good thing.
Yeah, being intelligent makes it easier for us to get our schemes.
The intelligent man, sometimes they say, is a thinking man. Now, how does the thinking man get motivated, get aggressive, get ready to hit and kill and blow somebody out and take somebody out of the game? How do you get that ready, Bart?
It's just instinctual, I guess.
Right. Reaction, I guess, a lot of times.
Yes, sir.
Again, with us, Loren Bibbler from the Grimsley Whirlies. Shane's Rib Shack for a Thursday night. Getting ready for the big game with Page coming up on Friday. You kind of look around. What do you think caused the turnaround last week? You guys put up 55 points on Southern Alamance. You'd been kind of down the weeks before that. What do you think brought that turnabout around?
Definitely having the bye week before that helped us a lot. Helped a lot of our players that were a little bit banged up get to where they were really ready to go.
But you guys have been fortunate, I guess, this offensive line. Not too many dings or bang-up players there this season. That's all gone good for you.
Not really, yes, sir.
How about the game coming up with Carolina tonight, taking on Miami? You got any thoughts about that one?
I'm a State fan, so I'm not going to have anything good to say about Carolina.
Right,
but,
right.
I wish them the best against a very good Miami team. I know they're 5-0, ranked 10th in the nation right now.
How about on Saturday when DJ Reader lines them up for the Clemson Tigers against Florida State, one of the top teams in the country, and Clemson being number 3 in the nation?
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Definitely look for Tosh Boyd to sling it to Sammy Watkins and whatnot, but I hope Reader gets a lot of snaps. I mean, he's been very good this year when he's gotten in the game.
You get a chance to watch him on TV? Check
yes,
the guys out? Did a good job of that NC State reflection, too, as you kind of cast that aside and put a good word in for North Carolina. What is going on with NC State right now, then? What do they got to do to get better?
They need to get a quarterback for more than a couple games. That's the big thing. The running backs are pretty good. Shadrack Thornton, and there I know he wasn't in the first couple games. He had some troubles with administration and whatnot. But they had a very good freshman running back.
This Ryan Day's kid, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I didn't catch him much in a couple of recent games. He went back to Thornton a lot. I was kind of hoping to go back to Days, or at least maybe kind of go half and half there.
Yeah, he had a really good first game. I think he rushed for 3 touchdowns, which is a freshman record, I think.
I mean, he got everybody pumped up about that.
Exactly, yes, sir.
And we read a little bit more and heard a little bit more about him after that game because we didn't know much about him before the game. Heard he was one of the top running backs in the entire Miami area last year. State looking to be able to recruit him and bring him in, but then you get a little bit further down the road in the season, you kind of wonder, where did this guy go? They're going back to Thornton a lot. I'd like to see them kind of balance those running backs out too.
Yeah, that'd be very good to have a dual threat going with Shadrack Thornton.
It all comes back to the quarterback spot, like you said. They've got to have a quarterback because the way Coach Dave Doran runs that offense, he's going to have a quarterback that can run the ball.
Right. With Pete Thomas out, I think it's his shoulder or something like that, but hopefully Mitchell will be able to get back there this week.
What about you look at Grimsley's offense? What has been the key to that offense this year? That hurry-up offense, that NASCAR approach. I mean, the quarterback has got to be a key for you guys too. You didn't have Jake for the most part last week, but you went with Malik Stinson instead. How important is the quarterback role on your team, we're asking?
It's very important. He's mainly responsible for getting the plays in from the sideline with Coach Rez as quick as we can because, again, tempo is everything.
They just flash those in, the plays to the quarterback?
Usually he yells it to him. He's We go off a wristband or we just go off verbiage, but it's very key. And one thing that helps us communicate the calls that we echo the call. Usually starts from the wide receiver, then goes to the tight end, then to the line, and the other wide receiver on the other side.
Now, a lot of this offensive line improvement we've seen at Grimsley, is this a carryover from some of the Coach Corio efforts and things he was doing before he took off, had to leave?
Yes, sir. Coach Corio was very intense in the weight room. He had us doing a lot of lower body.
And he was always proud of the offensive line. That's the thing I'm impressed about Coach Corio. He was always, and then Coach Neal, I didn't know what he would have to say. First time I saw him this season at your place the very first day of practice, first thing he said, I said, who's going to be the top player? He goes, my offensive line. So Coach Corio got you guys where you are probably in a lot of ways today.
Yes, sir, he did.
What about the final score of the game coming up on Friday night? How do you see that?
More points us, less points them.
Good call there, too. This guy knows his stuff. Loren Bibler with us. We're going to outscore the opponent, outscore the opposition. Have you had a chance to see Charlie Jones this year at A&T? We asked about Charlie earlier.
I haven't seen him play, but he's come to a couple of our practices and talked to him.
And I guess he's playing maybe a tight end for A&T.
Yes, sir.
Saw him a little bit on television last night, a little bit of a receiver these days. Now, you mentioned, I guess, already some of your thoughts about college teams. Where do you end up again as far? You talked about, you mentioned Furman, you mentioned maybe ACC walk-on possibilities. Of all those schools, who do you think's got the best chance to land you as a player next year?
Hopefully State, because I love their campus. I love everything about their school. We've had 4 family members on my side of to go and graduate from NC State, so diehard Wolfpack. Got any
red and white stuff at home?
Oh, of course.
Have you got one of those yard signs? I saw one this morning. I was headed down the road. Our State, NC State University. We got one of those little red yard signs yet, red and white?
No, we don't, unfortunately. I've seen those, and they look pretty cool.
Pretty smart stuff. State's doing good promotion by the Wolfpack. And let's see any other questions for Loren Bibler tonight. Shane's Rib Shack on this Thursday night. What do you think the key is, again, as far as the tempo goes? What do you got to do to get that tempo going early?
Positive plays. If we get a couple of positive plays going on the road, then that really gets everybody fired up and gets us wanting to go out and really knock their heads off.
It's been knocking the heads off. We're going to turn you loose. Loren, good job on your part.
Thank you very much, sir.
Look forward to seeing you. Again, before you leave, you got to block a big man like Big Don. How do you block Big Don, the big man? How do you block the big man?
Take his knees out.
How do you block the smaller man?
It's kind of like going in for a tackle on defense. You got to shimmy your feet, and then whichever way he goes, you just got to blow him up.
How about the middle range guy, right there, the other guy? How would you block that guy?
Just like the big guy.
Big guy and him, a little bit alike that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Loren. Good arms. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, Loren Bibler with us, Shane's Rib Shack.